Hello everyone, welcome to Raw vs. Wrestling for the Monday Night Raw, November 28th, 2011. And I'll just go through most of the show and how I felt about it. They started off the show with John Cena doing Piper's Pit with, of course, Roddy Piper. Always good to see a legend come on there every now and again, like they typically do. They don't show up too often, but they will show up from time to time. And it's always nice to see them. But honestly, the entire premise of the interview was to get Cena to be almost to be a heel somewhat, and to tell the fans how Piper thinks Cena really feels about how the fans boo him and doing all this. They played a lot of word association in there to try to get a crowd going. Oddly enough, though, the night that they really need the crowd to boo Cena, they don't boo him as much as they do in other cities. So it was kind of funny seeing that happen. They did boo him, but it wasn't as hardcore as in some other cities that you would typically see. And that's what I honestly think. It's usually city to city with Cena, whether or not he's going to get booed heavily or he's going to get cheered. So that was a little bit funny to see. And in all honesty, it ended with Piper slapping Cena and Cena walking to the back. And to be honest, in the end, if the way it ended, it made it feel like it was nothing more than a little bit of a waste of time. Of course, they could be building this into maybe a Cena heel turn or into whatever they're going for, But obviously, at this moment, it felt like it was a waste of time, and it didn't really fit too well. The entire promo was extremely well done. It was just that ending that was kind of iffy, and it did not make it. It didn't feel like it really belonged there at that point. Divas match they had, quick tag match with Alicia Fox, Kelly, and the Bella Twins. They're obviously building Alicia Fox into the next contender for Beth Phoenix. It was like a 2-minute match. Best part of the match was actually when Beth Phoenix and Natalya did a jogging moment around the ring. It was just funny to see them do a little cameo, like they're training for something at that point in time. So that was pretty much all about that match. Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton. Obviously, the two of them are not in a feud together. Dolph Ziggler was part of the Survivor Series match, but they were kind of using this match as a way to build Randy Orton's feud with Wade Barrett and to build Dolph Ziggler in the end as well. Dolph Ziggler got the win via zigzag when Wade Barrett interfered in the match, distracting Randy Orton. Wade Barrett was down there on commentary the entire time. And of course, you had build up with all that. The match itself was extremely good. What you would consider, anything you would consider from Randy Orton and in Dolph Ziggler in that mind. They also had good build. They're obviously, I liked how Wade Barrett came out there and said, you know, I felt this rivalry was over with after Survivor Series when he won. But Randy Orton came out the next week and they're going to continue this. So I like that they threw that little tidbit in there. It was good build into what they're going to do with Wade Barrett, which they're obviously building to become a bigger superstar as well. And the same with Dolph Ziggler. Good segment there. I liked it a lot. The next bit you had was Jack Swagger being out there again. And he went up against Zack Ryder. And of course they're building Zack Ryder for a U.S. title run here in the near future, obviously. Some people are thinking that the match should have been done tonight. I think they're going to save the match for pay-per-view with him and Dolph Ziggler for the U.S. title. They're obviously using each week to build a case that Zack Ryder deserves a United States Championship match outside of just the whole petition being signed and everything to try to get him a title match. And the match itself this week was, well, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't nothing great. Both these guys worked well in the ring, and they did a good job with what time they had on them. And obviously, the match was just used in a way to build Zack Ryder to the next level. And I'm liking that they're building Zack Ryder up. A lot of people really do like him now. You could see that he had some good talent going back when he was one of the Edgeheads. with Kurt Hawkins. And, well, it's nice to see that he's found a way to build himself into a storyline. He was able to build himself through the internet and then build himself into a storyline. And before I go to the main event, I'll talk about return promos that you obviously, one you saw during the show itself, and then one you saw with the Twitter feed link again this week. You had a Kane resurrection promo, which is indicating that Kane's going to come back with his mask. A lot of fans have been wanting him back in his mask for a long period of time. They never felt like he should have lost it to begin with. And hopefully we'll see, hopefully this will resurrect Kane back into being the monster that he once was, or however people viewed it as before. Honestly, I don't feel like he needs the mask anymore. He's as good as he was then, with and without the mask, but a lot of people would rather have the mask on, and that's what they're obviously going to give us here in the near future. You got the cryptic message with the YouTube link again, and it's obvious that they're trying to keep who they're having come back on January 2nd. My thoughts are still, it's probably Undertaker, though there are also some thoughts that it's Chris Jericho and a few other people down the road along that line as well. They're obviously not telling us, and they're not really giving away too much yet. They'll probably give away a little bit more each week with this one. Hopefully they'll move it from showing it on the Twitter feed on the bottom to actually doing a promo into the actual show itself. Probably something after Kane returns or anything like that. This brings us into the main event, which was Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk for the WWE Championship. And honestly, this was another case where they do really well in the ring together. And I'm glad with everything that they did enough in the match to actually keep the feud going, or give a reason for John Laurinaitis to give not to give CM Punk, but to have Laurinaitis give Alberto Del Rio another match for the WWE Championship. I liked the whole little tidbit that it seemed like there was no reason to have the CM Punk gets himself intentionally disqualified. He loses the WWE Championship in there. I like that little build into the storyline there. I like the storytelling during the match. You once again having Alberto Del Rio work over the arm, trying to get that cross arm breaker going, and he just can't. I like the little somewhat Eddie Guerrero type moment where they had Alberto Del Rio with he removes the turnbuckle pad, gets a chair in the ring, hits it on the ground, throws it to CM Punk, but Punk throws it back at him and lays down on the ground. Nice little Eddie Guerrero funny bit there. And then ending the match itself with the GTS to the steel ring of the unexposed turnbuckle. Like I said, they did enough in this to make it a really good match and a really good segment again. And they also did enough to keep the storyline going into another pay-per-view match. So hopefully we'll be seeing more matches for TLC being made next week. This was Raw vs. Wrestling for November 28th, 2011, and I thank you guys for watching.